Well, hello there, and happy Saturday. I am so happy that you are here. My name is Joshua Harrell, and I will be your chief travel marketeer for the rest of, I guess, the next little bit, I guess. Anyway, welcome. If you are joining live, please drop a note in the comments, say hello. Say how the world is treating you today, how you are showing up in the world. Give us a little glimmer to that. And if you are a travel marketeer, which I'm sure you are if you are joining me this morning, then you can always put in the chat a little TM for travel marketeering. That's sort of our version of kind of going to church and saying amen. We give a big TM. So I'm going to give a big TM to you right now for showing up. And you know what? If you aren't showing up live, that's okay. You can watch us anytime on our YouTube channel at World Via Travel Network. You can see this and loads of other content that is perfect for you, you little travel pro you. So you're welcome to watch it on demand or come back if you thought something was interesting that I said. And I always hope there's something interesting that I'm saying, something helpful. Welcome wherever you are. I'm very happy to be here and at our new time. I hope we're liking the new time. I actually heard from one of my teammates who she's not volunteering to go live at noon on the East Coast. But she said she could actually tune in now because it wasn't at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. So I hope you're liking it. I'm actually digging it myself. Allows me to kind of get into my Sunday groove and then come to you and start talking about the things that I love to talk about. Now, if you are new here, travel marketeering, what is it? It's all about marketing your products and services and thus selling them through systems. And the reason why we're big on that at World Via is because you've got to keep marketing your business. You have to. You have to keep that flowing, but you're also the chief executive officer. You're also the chief financial officer. You're also the chief service officer. You're all the chiefs, okay? So you gotta put your marketing on a system. And with a system, it's not personal. It's not artistic, although there's some design and art involved. A system is something you can truly be objective on and say, you know what? That's working, that's not working. What if I tweak this, I turn this up, I turn this down, whatever it is, right? And you can make some magic happen. And then you go back, do your stuff, you come back to it and you're like, wow, that really worked. Or you know what, I'm gonna enhance it a little bit more. So everything we do is about teaching you the things that you can either absorb and it just becomes involuntary, right? Or it's something that we're going to give you the details on how to make it a system. So I hope you're down for that. And if you are down for it and you'd like to be a part of a very cool community of travel pros who are travel marketeers, then definitely search on Facebook for our private Facebook group, Travel Marketeers. Not Travel Marketeering, Travel Marketeers. And then we'll let you in and then you can share some things. Now, today, we're going to talk about something that I know you are all about. I know you don't even need to be in this session because you know what? You're like, Joshua, I am so good at this. I do not even need to be here. I am going to go to the park. I'm going to go walk my dog. I'm going to watch TikTok, whatever it is, right? I know you don't need to talk about it. However, I feel some of you might need to hear this. And we are going to be talking about writing about you. How's that? Now, whether you are an agency owner with agents that work within your agency, or you are a solopreneur, you are the agency. You have to write about yourself, okay? So this is going to be, you can apply some of the things that we talk about today to talking about your agency. But I'm really speaking to you as a travel professional, someone who sells travel, we're going to be talking about you, writing about you. How do you tell your story? Okay. Now, again, if you have an agency and you write copy, the words that sell, the text that you write on the website, the text that you write in social posts, if you have your agency, some of these same things will apply. But when it gets down to those directory listings where you get to talk about why you're passionate about the Netherlands, or why you are into river cruising, or why you love Alaska, or why you love theme parks, uh, you in those directory situations, you are definitely talking about yourself. And on your About Us page on your website, you're talking about yourself. Even if you do talk about your overarching brand of your company, you do have to start to talk about your why. And if you joined us on Travel Marketeer Camp, we talked a lot about why and getting your brand story to come to life. And for many of you, your brand story, you are your brand. Okay, I get it. I get it. That is definitely true. That's definitely still applies. However, we're really going to dig into those more individual bios. Maybe you use something like Agent Profiler on travelleaders.com, where you have a bio about something that you specialize in, and then you have additional bios for other things that you specialize in, and creating that content very specific to that thing that you are trying to attract. Okay, that thing. That's not really what we're trying to attract, customers, not that thing. So, hey, it is a Saturday. I'm just flowing here. Be down. We're going to get to some good stuff. So we're going to talk about that. Now, Robin in our Facebook group, so happy that she did this. I put the call out this morning and she came back. I said, hey, anybody send me a link to your agent profiler or your about page on your website. And she came back. She didn't give me either of those, but she gave me a bio, her story, her personal story, that's a part of her brand. And so we've got that to work on. But if you have an agent profiler or an About Us page that you would like me to work on with you here, drop it in the comments and I will pop over there and we can take a look. And it might be a flying visit or we might sit a spell. But we're going to do some real work here. And that's what I hope that you will love about the Travel Marketeering Saturday sessions is we talk about a lot of good stuff and we dig into it and we start to do some work on it. And if you are wise, and many of you are, I know, you will use this time to really focus on what you need from me. So think of me as your personal your personal professional consultant. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Use me is what I'm saying. Okay? Get it? Hint, hint. Because those of you who are at a place where you're ready to collaborate, you're ready to get feedback, you're in a place that maybe somebody else watching this isn't. So your questions, and you might think they're dumb. Believe me, they're not dumb. You might think they're dumb, but they're not. And someone else will benefit from it. And the reason why I know that is because we've been doing this for, we're getting close to a year now. And that's what's been happening. So please take advantage of it. Now, I want to give a big shout out to two travel marketeers who really, if I could say my heart is aglow, I'm like a little Care Bear right now. Yeah, I am so proud of you because last week we talked about going live, the power of going live and doing it on a regular basis. And if you didn't see it, again, go back to the YouTube channel and watch. I have to give a shout out to Melissa, who went live right away. She was on it. She was all ready to go live. She did it. And she posted in our Facebook group. Thank you for sharing that. And then Rebecca in Texas, she went live, I want to say it was almost every day for a week. And it was so cool to watch and to see. She was in destination, and guys, there was a little lesson that Rebecca discovered through the process, because she was in destination. She wasn't in this environment. She wasn't in her garage like I am, right, where I've got the microphone, I've got the camera. She wasn't in that situation. She was in destination, and she said, I need a microphone, because all the camera being so far away from her as she was standing in destination, it allowed all this other sound to come in. And of course that would happen, but you wouldn't think about that at the time. You're just like, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live in destination. And I loved it. And I loved some of the comments. I think I saw someone say, I couldn't hear anything you said, but it looked like you were having a grand time, and I was jealous. I'm sure they didn't say a grand time. That's something I picked up in Ireland, and I can't shake it. It just is there. So anyway, so it didn't even matter that they couldn't hear what she was saying. They took it as, gosh, she's going live. How cool is this? And that she could signal that she was in destination. It was a beautiful thing. So you made my little Care Bear heart swell. I'm like a little tender heart right now. So happy. I'm so excited when you guys are doing the things and telling about it, right? Doing it publicly. So I love that. All right, before we tuck in, I am going to pop over to the comments. It looks like, oh, Erica at Worldvia. She has jumped in and said, Happy Saturday, Marketeers. And our Erica is our Director of Member Development. She puts together all the educational programs, the coaching programs with her teammates, Velma and Amy. Such a cool team. They do some really exciting things. She joins me for this, I think, because she's worried that I'll go rogue, that I'll just say something just completely crazy. So she's like, I am going to monitor him, because she doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. She doesn't know what I'm going to say. So Erica, don't bust me. Don't be mad at me. All right, I know she's not. And Kathy is joining us. Good afternoon, and TM. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. All right, it is Serenity Suitcase Luxury Travel. Hello from New Hampshire. Snowy spring day. A TM back to you. Nikki, hello from Nashville. I don't know why that was my Nashville song. That's my go-to Nashville song. Nashville. Erica said, it's snowing here, so it's a good day to advertise a beach break. Yes, TM, back at you, Erica. You know what? It works. Erica's been doing this a long time, and maybe somebody isn't necessarily thinking, you know what, today is the day that I'm going to explore my beachside bliss opportunities, right? Might not be thinking that. However, it's snowy and cold, and it's April. My goodness, I'm gonna start thinking about some beach experiences. So all of you who are in a place where you serve customers that are getting a little snow, or it's a little cold when you step out the back door into the back garden, then you know what? This might be a great day to post a picture, a throwback picture, to say, oh, gosh, I wish it were warmer. Fortunately, if you go to Sandals in Montego Bay, there's sunshine on tap. I don't know. I'm absolutely just riffing here. But yeah, take advantage of what's going on right now. Catherine said, good afternoon, TM. Let's see. Where am I going here? There we go. And then Erica said, thank you for this. She said, I learn something every time, and someone has to document the crazy. Oh, hush. It's not crazy. Oh, and Catherine said she put her agent profiler link in the Facebook post. All right, I will get over there, and I will check that, because it's not coming through here. So I will get that. So take a letter, Maria, and address it to my wife, because we need to go and look at Catherine's post. or her link, and then we will check out her agent profiler, which is fun anyway. I mean, I can tell you, I won't necessarily stay on topic because we might, if we're going to agent profiler, I might see other things that I want to talk about. Be like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Yeah, that does happen to me. But really, what I want to get down to is I want to talk about your bios and how you sell yourself through copy. And I say copy a lot, and I will tell you that when I first was in marketing, or first ventured into the world of marketing, I was working with a copywriter. I knew what their job was, but they kept saying everything was copy, everything was copy. And guess what? I learned everything was copy. So every piece of every bit of words that you have on the page, you have on a postcard, even I would hazard to say, even a handwritten note, there's some copy elements into what you might be handwriting to one of your clients. It copy is the words that sell. That's all. It's just a short way of saying the words that sell. So we're talking copy for your bio. We're talking copy on your website. We're talking copy in your emails. Copy, it's anything, it's any way that you write down your ideas in order to get people to take action. Okay? So we're going to talk about the copy, about you when you're writing about yourself. Now, I will tell you the number one thing that trips everyone up in all of their writing, whether they are writing a bio or they're writing an email, whatever it is, they don't know where they're trying to go. Now, they know why they're doing this. I need to get customers. I don't have any customers. I need to send an email, or I need to have a page on my website so I can get customers, right? Macro level situation there, right? Yes, you are trying to get customers, but let's break that down a little bit. What is the purpose of this website page? What is the purpose of this email? You want them, you need customers. What action do you want them to take when they read this? And it's never, the answer is never, I just want them to know the thing. It's never that. It's never that. You're either wanting them to go on to another page on your website. You're wanting them to call you or request a call from you, filling out inquiry forms, or what else do you want them to do? Inquiry forms, even chatting with you, or just again picking up the phone and calling. Let's just say that that's the ultimate action. Somebody's like, "Hello, I need a beachside bliss right now, people." So that's the ultimate action. But there can be other things in between. Subscribe for emails. There you go. There's another. There's some reason why you're communicating this, and there's some action you want them to take. Now, in the case of a bio, you are trying to convey your expertise, your passion. You're trying to connect with people. But ultimately, depending on where this bio lives, you're trying to get some sort of action. Now, on a directory listing like Agent Profiler on travelleaders.com, you're wanting them to see that they're the right fit for them, so then they can click and submit an inquiry. So then you will contact them and you can discuss their vacation. On your website, it could be filling out an inquiry form. It could be live chatting or scheduling an appointment with you. You're getting them to connect with you so they can see that you are the solution to what they are needing, right? Now, the way that I like to do this, and it's going to sound kind of basic, and I never like to be basic. Believe me, I never want to be basic, and I don't want you to be basic either, okay? But there are some things that I do systematically, I guess. It's now involuntary because I've made it this practice for me. And that is when I take either a piece of paper and my plume, because I'm going to handwrite in calligraphy. No. If I'm on a piece of paper or I'm working on an online document, and I keep kind of motioning over here because I've got my my computer up here with Robin's bio right now. But when I'm writing any kind of a document, I put a GPS at the very top, my global positioning statement. Okay, get it? GPS, right? So, what is this blog post about? What is this social post about? What is this email about? And what is this bio about? And guess what? The bio is never about you, it is about the component of you that you want to share, that you're trying to connect the reader to. Okay. Now, that might sound a little foreign, but think about it this way. I can tell a story. I was born in April 16th, by the way. Someone's got a birthday coming up, and that's a big one. So I was born April 16th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Right? I can tell that story. Guess what? That has nothing to do with the people who are trying to buy from me or consider me in their purchase, right? So we need to get into, why am I the one for you, right? And by doing that, I could tell different stories. And based on who I am as a person, I could tell really colorful stories. Depending on what I'm selling and who I'm selling to, it might be more formal. Maybe I have more luxury clients, and the type of product I'm selling, I need to be very buttoned up. My clients are very they're very they go incognito when they go to Aspen. I don't know. I'm imagining like a James Bond type person, right? So I'm gonna write that way, even if I'm not really that way. If I know what that is, and I know those clients are good for me, then I'll write that way, because I don't want you to try to be somebody you're not. I just want you to connect the thread in you that will connect to the thread in them, and then we just made a connection there. Wow, that was an analogy that I'm not sure really worked there. Let's see here. I got a little. If you hear a little blah, blah, that is uh, the comments coming through, and we've got Jamie saying newbie, old school agent in the social age and learning all I can. I love it. Welcome, Jamie. TM to you. I hope you're going to have fun in today's session. And Teresa said, good morning from Alaska. I love it. So glad to see you here. And oh, and Bill. Bill is here. Happy birthday. Is it the big 3-0? Bill, just go a little bit and then go a little bit more. That's where we are. We're at the big 5-0, y'all. I am 50 years old, or I will be. April 16th, y'all. Stalk me on social media and tell me that, wish me a happy birthday. Well, you can wish me a happy birthday right now. All right, I'm going to stop fishing for birthday wishes there. All right, so thinking about GPS statement, and this works for everything, not just the bio that you'd be writing for yourself. It's something you can use for every single thing. If you're trying to sell cruises to Alaska, what is this blog post about? It's about cruises to Alaska. More specifically, how do I get people to join this itinerary that I'm putting on, this cruise that I'm putting on, right? So you want to be really, really specific, because you might meander as you're preparing this. You might meander, and that's okay. You can, as long as you know where you're trying to get back to. And then I find it helps with editing. If I know what I started out with, then I might love this paragraph. Eric and I love that she's on here right now, because Eric and I, there's a lot of writing that we do in our jobs. So we're constantly writing and constantly putting it up there and saying, hey, is this good? And I know that she's not asking me, is this good writing? She's very confident in her writing. I'm very confident in my writing. The is it good thing is, we both know what the thing is that we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish here. Is it good is, is this going to work? Is this doing what we need it to do? And that is, it's great when you have somebody that you can work with like that. I don't know if you've ever asked somebody to read your writing and they have no idea why you're doing it. And so then they start getting hung up on punctuation and things like that. All good. You don't want bad punctuation. But at the end of the day, you were trying to find out, is this good? Is this going to do the thing I want it to do? Or at least do we all feel like it's got the best chance to do that, right? So I love working with Erica because that we do that all the time. Like, look at this. Is it good? Is this good? And sometimes there was a note today this week where she sent me something, and I was like, that just isn't, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Now, that wasn't like, oh my gosh, I hate your prose. Your prose is so awful. It wasn't that. It's just I knew what she was trying to do and what we were trying to do, and that thing wasn't it. So then she goes back and she does the work and then comes back and it's like, wow, this was it. So you do need to let other people into your world at any given time just to have that reality check. However, you do want to make sure that they know why you're doing it, so they don't just spend the time correcting your punctuation and saying, you know what, you need to stop using amazing. You used amazing 7 times in 3 paragraphs. That is too many amazings. Anyway, I digress there. All right, I'm hearing some sounds here. Let's see. Oh, Erica is saying, Bill, you're such a flatterer. You know what? We'll let him. We'll let him. Robert said, TM coming in late, but gotta have travel marketeering. I gotta have you too, Robert. Thank you for being here. Teresa, thank you. Here it comes. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Oh, so... Thank you for that, Teresa. And Teresa thinks both of us are awesome, Erica. So yay. And there you go. I love it. Yeah. What was I going to do now? Oh, we're going to go and see Robin's bio that she sent me. And this is where she and I did not discuss this. She just dropped it in. I do believe I had seen this before. It might have been on camp that she sent it to me. So we're gonna play here with her bio. And because we're not doing an open video call, I mean, obviously we've got the comments here. I might be throwing some questions to Robin, and she might not have time to answer it. So I don't want you to think I'm rude asking questions and then not waiting for a response, because sometimes it's a little bit harder. But in my questions, think about me and Erica going back and forth. These are I want to help Robin get the most out of her writing. So some of these questions that I ask yourself if you're asking the same questions or if it's applicable to something you're working on. Okay, so we're gonna pop over there. Let's see if you guys can see. And you know what? Talk amongst yourselves for a minute, because I did notice that I've got a little bit of lag on my audio here. Is that any better? Are my lips matching? Oh, say, can you see? Yeah, that's looks a little odd. Bump, 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 bump. 1, 2. Yeah, there's something kind of funky there. I'm seeing if I can adjust it, guys, but I hope it doesn't bother you too much if my lips don't match. They really don't match. It's really quite strange. Ba 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 ba. Is that better, or is that really? Okay, we're gonna stop with that. All right, I'll fix it later. Oh, thank you, Robert. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna share the screen. Yay! There we go. All right. Is it still good on your side, Erica? Because I feel like okay. Everybody good. All right. You know what? I'm like a budrigar. I'm just looking at myself saying, oh, my lips don't match. Like, who cares? You're not here to see me like Muggins here. Anyway, moving on. All right, so let's look at what Robin sent in. This is her bio. And I would say she probably uses it on various different places, probably about the About page on her website. So I'm going to read it and then and follow along with me if you guys can see. Can you guys see that? Just give me like a thumbs up or something if you guys can see that. Okay, I tried to zoom in. Yeah, all right. I'll wait a second before I start diving in. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Or maybe you already did and I couldn't see it. Anyway, I'm going to dive in. So we're going to read this. I'm going to give just some initial thoughts after I read it. And then I'm going to drop it into Avia, which is our new AI tool. And you could use any AI tool. It's just we are in the final stages of launching or debuting this tool. So I wanted to use it. So I went ahead and dropped it in there. I didn't look at any of the content. So we're going to go through my whole process. Okay. All right, Robert, thank you for giving me the fact that it's a little small on your end. Let's see if I can make that a little bigger and then get Muggins out of the way here. You guys don't need to see him. He's not that interesting, right? Let's see. I'll just be really tiny, and I'm going to go right up here. Look at me. I'm a floating head. There we go. There we go. All right. So hopefully that's a little better. Okay. So this is from Robin. With over 4 years of experience in booking international and local travel, I've helped create seamless, life-changing adventures around the globe. As a biologist and scuba dive master, I have had the privilege of accompanying groups of unforgettable journeys to destinations like the stunning islands of Fiji and the Maldives, the coral-rich waters of Bonaire, and the lush rainforests of Costa Rica, to name just a few. And aren't those a beautiful few? I love that. Whether you desire group, couples, individual, or family trips, I prioritize eco-friendly accommodations and sustainable practices, from carbon-neutral resorts to ocean conservation initiatives, ensuring your trip supports the environment. Your experiences will not only explore beautiful destinations, but also create meaningful connections with the places and people you encounter. My commitment to sustainability ensures that every trip supports eco-friendly practices and responsible tourism. So you can feel good. Sorry, I read that and that was a very long sentence for me. So you can feel good about the places you choose to explore. Let me help you craft an unforgettable experience that blends adventure, education, and relaxation, all while leaving a positive legacy wherever you go. Well, that story feels beautiful, and it definitely has a beginning, middle, and end. Now, some feedback on this would be, story-wise, I like the story. Depending on where this is being used, I might want to trim it up a little bit. And it's not really about the length, but that one sentence where it was hard for me to read. My commitment to sustainability ensures that every trip supports eco-friendly practices and responsible tourism, so you can feel good about the places you choose to explore. That was a lot for me to get out. It's a great story and it should be in there, but I would look at how can we maybe chop this up a little bit and get this into bite-sized pieces, to make this easier to say, and also even easier. When I say break it up in this sense, I'm talking about maybe there are elements of this story that I want to break out and I want to put into social media, which does need to feel like how you would talk normally, right? I definitely have run-on sentences when I talk, but for the most part, I say just enough for someone to get a hint of what I'm talking about, and then when I see that they're more interested, then I give them a little bit more. But I try to keep it in small, bite-sized sentences that I don't feel like I'm losing my breath as I'm saying them. So yes, and Erica said, and I need to bring this up because I was going to say this for sure. Great use of keywords. So keywords would be the things that people are searching for, those keywords in the search bar that somebody plugs in that helps connect content to the user on the search engine, right? So keywords, you'll hear keyword phrases, because as the internet continued to evolve, we moved away from keywords and got into keyword phrases. So you could say something like Costa Rica, that is a keyword, but traveling to Costa Rica is a keyword phrase. And keyword phrases help you identify a little bit better what your intent is when you're searching for something. Like you normally, if you type in Costa Rica, just Costa Rica by itself, you're just trying to find out information about Costa Rica. But travel advisor specializing in Costa Rica, another keyword phrase. So I was going to say the same thing, Erica, that there is really good keywords mixed in here. And it also, I think I remember Robin sharing this in camp or one of the Saturday sessions, because I remember saying that her keywords, the different elements of her story, talking about the islands of Fiji, the Maldives, the coral rich waters of Bonaire, her choice of words, the way she put them all together, it evokes what she's selling. And I think that is, not everybody can do that. Sometimes they focus too much on, I'm a travel professional. I will take away all the headache of your vacations, planning your vacations, things like that. But they miss what are they really buying here? They're not wanting a travel advisor. They're wanting the vacation of their dreams or the destination wedding of their dreams, right? So having such colorful language in here really does evoke this, like, yeah, I want to travel. I want to do, this is the right person for me. So I love that. I love that. I just would say that this is a great brand story, but depending on where I'd use it, I want to chop it up a little bit, make it a little easier to read. And depending on where this lives, there are some words that maybe I would bold, right? Especially when she talks about the responsible tourism, some of the eco-friendly practices, things like that, things that you really want to stand out. Because I can have somebody that's wanting to go to Fiji, Maldives, Bonaire, Costa Rica, just to name a few. I could have people that want that, but she's now added this extra layer that would be her niche, that she is committed to sustainability. And I love this, leaving a positive legacy wherever you go. I mean, all of this is really good work, Robin. And Erica said, agreed. Excellent job making it about the client and not you. Yes, that is. So if you find that your writing is going a little bit in one direction where you feel like you are making it about you, um, then maybe that's a part of your your GPS. You say, I am writing. Maybe you think about your customer avatars, those people that you want to visualize when you're thinking of your ideal client, right? And maybe my ideal client is Erica. So I've named her Erica, and I've got Erica, and I am focused on expressing that I am an expert in eco-friendly travel, and I want you to contact me today. I'm just completely riffing there. Maybe I need to put that person in there. And I would say, I know we've talked about customer avatars and creating content around your customer avatar and having several. Like, 4 to 5, I'd feel good with. 3 is excellent. But most of the time you don't just have one customer avatar. So different pieces, you might be writing about the same thing, but if you focus what you're writing on to that avatar, you could have 5 different stories, right? Depending on how many avatars you have. So you want to keep that in mind. But I think the biggest thing that will help everybody, before you even get into the nuances of writing to your specific avatar, is know why you are doing this. Why are you writing this? What are you trying to convey? And I think about the agent profiler bios. And if you don't know what agent profiler is, if you go to travelleaders.com, you'll see a listing of advisors around the country. And each of those bios is a bio with an agent profiler. And what I love about agent profiler is you can have unlimited bios. So someone who, let's say, is a Caribbean expert, okay? They can have bios for all the major destinations that they serve, or they want to attract clients to. Because I'm not necessarily going to search as a potential customer. I'm not necessarily going to search Caribbean. I might say Jamaica. I might say St. Martin. I might say St. Thomas. I might say the different islands. Make a bio for each one of them, and then maybe have one overarching one that incorporates them all. So and the only reason why I went there is having that GPS. I would say, hey, I'm writing this bio because I am the advisor that you need to work with if you want to go to St. Martin. Okay. So thinking about that focus will help you immensely. And then beyond that, maybe focus it on who you're writing to. Let's see, Erica. Erica, I'm going to make you my co-host on Saturdays. You're going to have to come in now because you're putting in some great stuff here. She said it's hard to balance touting your experience while keeping the focus on the client, and that is so true. How many times have you read? Maybe it's not a bio, but it's an about page for a company, and they're like, oh, we've been in business for 27 years and we've won the lifetime achievement of blah, 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 blah. And we've got the JD Power blah, blah, blah awards. Okay, that's a lot to lead with. And I don't know that that's answering whatever the question is I have inside when I'm evaluating a business to work with. Are you the solution for what I'm looking for? And in our business, for the most part, and I'm being very general here, for the most part, our people are on the search for the best travel experiences they can have at whatever their budget is, right? I want, if I'm going to look for a consultant to help me plan something, I've put a level of importance on it, and I want somebody who is an expert at it, because I don't want to get in the destination and think, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on so many things. This might be the only time I ever get to Iceland. I don't want to mess that up. But fortunately, there are experts that can help you. And that's the thing. Tout your experience. Think about it as kind of a little more of a later on in the story, right? And make sure it ties to the thing that you're talking about. So, you always hear JD Power when you're listening to car commercials, right? Um, why are they getting awards, right? Because they're trying to say we have the best service and our people are amazing, right? Well, and most of them, for the most part, they leave it towards the end of the commercial. But I'm just saying, it needs to tie into and then, right? So this car is amazing. It does this, that, and the other, and oh my gosh, and people will think you're cool, but more importantly than them, you'll feel cool because it just feels cool the moment you get in this car. It's so cool feeling. And then you're not by yourself because you're surrounded by a team that wants you to enjoy your car so much. And it's been validated by JD Power, right? It's so that's where it comes into the story, if it's even necessary at all. Now, everybody who wins an award, it's very important to them because there was a lot of work that went into that, right? But it is that social proof that you use through various different marketing tactics to show that people really like you. And if people like you, then you should like me too, right? Like I really messed up what I was saying there, but I'm just saying people like you, therefore I should like you too. That's what I meant to say. I don't even know if that's what I did say, but anyway. So using things like that, touting the amount of experience you have, or even this is something that's touting a personal accomplishment. But if you have been to Alaska 38 times, okay, that is very impressive, especially if I want to go to Alaska. So definitely incorporate that. That makes sense. Now, if you said, I've been in business for 38 years, so what? So what? I'm looking for Alaska trips. I want to have the best Alaska trip ever. So I don't care about you being in business for 38 years, but I do care that you have gone to Alaska 38 times. So again, just find the things that are speaking to what your customer or what you hope your customer is looking for wherever you're putting this. And that even goes to social media, right? I'm going to switch screens here for a minute. So with social media, you have a post. Maybe you just did a ship inspection on the new MSC ship, right? So you're you you have you have that experience. They don't care that you're on a ship inspection. That is in the weeds. Do not give that information out. You got to explore this beautiful ship, and oh my goodness, the finishing touches. Da, 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 da. They don't care about how you got there. They care what's in it for me, even when it comes down to a social post. Why is this social post interesting? And if I'm really even reading the copy of the social post, then you already got my attention on the image itself. But I'm wanting to know, what am I looking at? What do I need to know about this picture? And that's when you got them hooked. Oh, the magic of social media, I swear. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being focused on what you're trying to get people to do, right to the specific point that you're trying to get across, and how do you get them to take action, whatever that action might be. Now, let's go back to Robin's bio story here. As it is, I really liked it. Okay, so the things that I would change if we weren't going to go use Avia, it would be, I would just break up some of the longer sentences, and I feel like that's enough for this story. And then depending on where it was going to get used, then I would tweak it further. But I feel like it is a good story and definitely something I want to use. Let's see here. Heather said, so helpful. I've often struggled how to not sound like bragging. Focusing on what the client wants to hear helps so much. Right. Yeah. It is funny because we talk about all the time. We're like, you read something and you're like, you're not bragging enough. Right. Because some people it'll be an absence of the brag, right? And then other people are bragging so much that you're like, whoa, 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 steady. That is too much. So it is a little Goldilocks situation. Oh, it's too hot. It's too cold, right? You kind of, but the awareness of this is really where the power is, right? And that's what I love when you get past just the basic function of writing, right? When you start using words and phrases strategically to evoke something in the reader, that is a beautiful thing. It's like design. It's like design. You play with the words, and sometimes the words are the right words, but it's just not hitting the way it needs to hit. So that is something that I know that's kind of getting away from the travel marketeering, create those systems. It's a robot. It's not that. It's just when you start to feel like you can play, it is a freedom that allows you to reinvent, test, and try. So I hope that if you've spent some time with me, you realize that there's room to play. And from some of that playing comes some beautiful things, okay? And they might not be the things that you were expecting. And that, I love that. Now, you get stressed when you have to write a 250 character summary for something to try to get people to take action. Yes, you get stressed there. So you're not feeling like you want to play. However, if you give yourself some grace to be able to play and see different ways to, have different ways to look at things, you will find some really cool things bubble up that you weren't expecting. I was working on something this week, and I dumped everything out that was in my mind. It was like, it just all dropped out. And it was too much. I knew it was going to get edited. Well, I took out 3 paragraphs. That's how long it was. It was a tweet. No, I'm just kidding. But I took out 3 paragraphs. Now, those paragraphs weren't bad. They just didn't work with what I was trying to do. It was too much. I was circling that airport too much before I landed. I did not throw those through 3 paragraphs away. No, 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 no. You don't throw that stuff away. You put it to the side. You put it to the side. And then I was able to create 3 blog posts from those paragraphs. Can I say multitasking, multi-purposing, efficient? Yeah, that's me all the way around. No, it was just, and that doesn't always happen. Believe me, I cut a lot of stuff that just ends up on the floor. But in this case, I was like, oh, I really like what the story I was telling. It just didn't fit with what I was trying to do. So whenever you're writing, whether you're writing for your bio or you're writing copy for your agency or copy for a promotion, things like that, don't throw away the work. Just have a place where you just scrape that stuff and put it to the side, because you never know when you might need it. And sometimes it could be maybe you're creating this is an example for your bio. So when you go to events, normally there's an app that you get on while you're at the event. So before you go, you fill out your profile. Well, you don't have room for 3 paragraphs on that bio, but something that maybe you scraped from something you were working on could be used. Like one of those 3 paragraphs probably could have worked in a bio situation. So that's where, and oftentimes you need that stuff really quick, and you're like, oh, I don't have time to reinvent the wheel here. Well, you don't have to. You've already done some of this work, and some thinking time was spent on it. Grab it from over there. Again, it's words. Words, it's like paint, it's like blocks, it's like, I don't know, it's stuff that you can play with. It don't feel like you're so restricted by your writing. Have fun with it, because that's where the magic comes. Now, I said I was going to pop over to Avia, and just to give you an idea. So Avia is a new. Let's see. You guys can see that okay? I hope so. Is a new AI tool that we have launched, or we're about to launch. So, ooh, you're getting a sneak preview of it. Erica, don't tell anybody that I'm on here. So what we've done with Avia is we've taken some AI tools, brought them all together, um, and we have also incorporated things like this session, not this exact session right now, but I'm just saying some of the content that we have prepared, some of the education sessions that Erica and the team have put together, some of our solution articles. So all the information that we have within our world, within the Worldvia world, we have put into this agent. And Avia is collecting, is not only giving responses that are connected to just artificial intelligence that we've all been kind of incorporating into our day to day, but it's also tapping right in to the source of Worldvia knowledge over the years. So we've gone back a lot. Anyway, we're looking way under the hood on this, and that wasn't the point of the exercise here. But if you've used an AI tool, then this should look kind of familiar to you. But with the AI tool, you ask questions. You could say something like, when is the best time to go to Rome? And it'll have some dialogue with you. The way that I'm using it today is I'm going to use it to improve writing. So what I did, and I'll show you this is my past item that I had used. So I had said, improve this travel advisor's bio. Okay, and I cut and pasted exactly what we just read that Robin had shared with us. So I just dumped that in, and I just said, improve it. So Avia came back with, here's an improved version of the bio that enhances clarity, flow, and impact while maintaining the original intent. Now, while I did this before we got started, guys, I did not read it. So we're going to read it. And then, and whether, I know Erica's been jumping in, but if any of you have some ideas, drop it down in the comments, and we can play with Avia to get this, to give Robin maybe a different take for her to think about. And again, she might not use this for her about page on her site. It might not be replacing her brand story, but hopefully we'll give her something that she can use in other places. And Robin, just so you don't have to ask, I will cut and paste this in response to your comment to me on our Facebook group. Okay. So here we go. With over 4 years of experience curating international and domestic travel, oh, sorry, I wanted to make sure you could see this. I specialize in crafting seamless, life-changing adventures that leave a lasting impact. As a biologist and scuba dive master, I've had the privilege of leading groups on unforgettable journeys to breathtaking destinations such as the coral-rich waters of Bonaire, the lush rainforests of Costa Rica, and the idyllic islands of Fiji and the Maldives. Whether you're planning a group getaway, a romantic escape, a solo adventure, or a family vacation, I focus on eco-friendly accommodations and sustainable travel practices. From carbon neutral resorts to ocean conservation initiatives, I ensure your journey not only explores stunning destinations, but also supports the environment and fosters meaningful connections with local communities. My commitment to responsible tourism means every trip is designed to blend adventure, education, relaxation while leaving a positive legacy. Let me help you create an unforgettable travel experience that aligns with your values and inspires you to explore the world in a way that truly matters. I have to say, I think Avia did a pretty good job with that. What do you guys think? Um, Now, don't evaluate it based on my reading skills because I'm not a good reader, but I did feel like it flowed. Something I wanted to call out was I love the way it reconfigured this sentence about the different destinations because before, let's see, before we had, hold on, oops, what happened? There it is. Before we had destinations like the stunning islands of Fiji and Maldives, the coral-rich waters of Bonaire, and the lush rainforests of Costa Rica, just to name a few. So it really just kind of reorganized it and brought that the coral-rich waters, because that when I read that in her original writing, I was like, gosh, that's so. That does evoke a picture in my mind. So starting with that, I really like it. I thought that flowed very, very well. And the other thing I liked was about the different types of travelers or the different types of vacations one might be looking for. So in the original one, we had whether you desire group, couples, individual, or family trips. That is almost sounds a little more industry like, you know, how we shorthand everything and we're like, oh yeah, that's a group trip, or you know, that's an escorted or private tour. Like we get really specific because we have all the terms. So when I look at this version, it's like a group getaway, a romantic escape, a solo adventure, a family vacation. So it just kind of stretched those out a little bit. um, all in all, we were starting with a really good bio, so I feel really confident in that. So putting it in here, I think just smoothed it out a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any hearts or love that you feel? I'm not sure if Teresa is actually saying this about our new version, but I'm going to say she gave us a "that's awesome," and I'm going to go ahead and say it was a TM. And I just noticed, Heather, I'm sorry I didn't see that you had chimed in there. Knowing your target audience is really the key to success. Yes, hands down, hands down. And just going back to what I was saying, uh, I feel like everyone could will be served very well if they could be focused on the outcome, what they're trying to convey. But when you know who you're speaking to, it does make it so much easier. In fact, I had somebody say once that when you're writing emails, if you're really struggling to give enough details and keep the tone of your email even keel, and this is not necessarily marketing emails, this is more your day-to-day emails. But think about writing to your mom. because your mom's not in the business. Your mom, doesn't know all the ins and outs. So when you're speaking to your mom, you're explaining some of the details so she can better understand what you're trying to convey. I think that's a great tip for your corporate emails, but also when you're trying to focus your writing on a particular type of customer, extremely helpful. So I will never disagree with you, Heather, on that one for sure. All right, let's see here. So I feel pretty good about this. And yes, Robin, I'm going to send that to you for sure. But you really, I remember this now when you had shared this, and I believe it was camp that you shared this. I was like, yeah, this is really good stuff here. Your writing is on point. You spent some time on that, I can tell. Now, let's see. Catherine said that she put in the Facebook group. And hey, if you are not a part of our private Facebook group, go to Facebook and search Travel Marketeers and join us there. I can add you in momentarily. Let's see. I am looking for. You got to stand by here. This is where I should have a music break or something. Now's the time. All right, I'm gonna stop that because that's gonna get annoying. All right, hold on a second here. Let me get. Oh, and more people jumped in here. Ah, there she is. There's Catherine. All right. All right, now I'm going to pop back over here. Look at me. I am just producing this show. Like, I've got a whole crew of people here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. All right, Catherine. I've got your Travel Leaders Agent Profiler up. So if you guys haven't seen Agent Profiler, here it is. I'm going to zoom in, guys. I can tell you are going to need that. Oops. Boom, boom. Okay, that's much better, I think. It might be a little crowded up, but guys, I just like zoomed it in by a lot. So this is Agent Profiler on travelleaders.com. So you can see a bunch of different bios here. And as I was saying earlier, you can have multiple bios. So you can really create a cool ecosystem across travelleaders.com based on the different things that you're specializing in. And I always say, take up as much space as you can on somebody else's site, especially as a member of our network. You don't have to pay for it. So boom, you need to do that. But let's look at Catherine's bio here. And this is a great application for a bio. So sometimes if you're writing your brand story and you get into your bio, you're doing that more as a brand exercise. But then when you actually apply it to your different needs across your marketing world, then you start to play with it a little bit and cater it to that particular platform. So here we've got Catherine's bio, and she is a certified cruise and travel specialist. Okay, so I don't know what she's certified in. Okay, but I'm going to just give her kudos for using this here because many people have never used a travel advisor before. So I'm just saying, if you've never used one before and you see somebody is a certified cruise and travel specialist, what do you think that means? Well, it means that when I'm evaluating other people who are not saying that I mean, they're not certified. So why would I even work with them? I'm just saying that's what it's signaling to me. So good job there. All right. So first note here, Catherine, is this is a lot of copy in one big block here. We definitely need to break this up. I haven't even read it yet. We need to break it up. I don't want to, when I look at a block of text like this, I'm scared. I'm like, whoo, you better brace for impact. I cannot handle this is too much for me to read. Now, again, I have not read it. I'm just saying that it's like I'm a spaceship that is about to be caught in a tractor beam. I'm scared. I don't know if I want to jump in. Make it easy for me. Break it up a little bit, okay? And something that I just want to say to everyone, please, 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 It is okay to have a one sentence paragraph. I know everybody is like, no, that can't happen. Yes, it can. This is where you get to use, when you're writing copy, you get to pick and choose the rules that you're going to apply to your writing. And at the end of the day, you're always going to win by writing in plain English. Okay? So it is okay to even have a one word sentence. If it gets your point across and people can read it and it doesn't seem awkward, then go for it. You have my permission to do that. So, without reading the content, I'm going to say that, Catherine, need to break this up because I might not even read this because I'm scared. It looks like I'm going to get trapped in it. Okay? Now, I'm going to read it. Stop being so over dramatic, Joshua. Yeah. Doesn't everybody talk about themselves in third person? Let's see. Erica said, great bio, Catherine. And yes, I do have to agree. Great bio. So glad that you're super agent. If you guys don't know what super agent is, talk to me later because it's something that everybody should be, and it is free for you to get that access. Okay. So, Catherine, you're certified cruise and travel specialist. Picture yourself on the deck of a luxurious cruise ship, the sun dipping below the horizon, casting a warm golden light across the serene ocean. With me, this dream becomes your reality. I specialize in crafting unforgettable getaways, whether it's a breathtaking cruise, a relaxing all-inclusive resort, or a rich European adventure. As a certified travel advisor with Princess, Celebrity, and Carnival Cruise Lines, I provide insider access to exclusive amenities and world-class service. Craving the vibrant energy of the Caribbean or the old world charm of Europe? I'll help you find the ideal cruise itinerary tailored to your desires. Prefer to stay on land? All-inclusive resorts offer stress-free escapes, perfect for families, couples, or thrill seekers, and I partner with top-tier suppliers to ensure exceptional value and quality. Europe's timeless beauty and cultural treasures are yours to discover. From guided tours to fully customized itineraries, I design European experiences that align with your unique interests and travel style. From theme parks and family resorts to romantic escapes and casino getaways, I plan every detail to create a travel experience that's truly your own. Let me help you embrace life's adventures through the transformative power of travel. Okay, Catherine, I have read that before, so I am much closer to it than I would have been if I was coming into it blind. Lovely, beautiful, rich language. Love it, love it, love it. You definitely the breaking up is not going to be that hard because there are some clear breaks in this. Let's see if I scan through this a little bit. Let me tell you, as a certified travel advisor, this could be a single sentence, a single line sentence. I would put your questions. I would make those their own line. So maybe you leave this sentence above it attached to the paragraph above, but then I would have a break and then ask my question. Craving the vibrant energy of the Caribbean or the old world charm of Europe? Make that its own sentence and then, or its own paragraph, and then below it, answer the question. So that would be another one sentence paragraph. But I'm okay with that because then the next one breaks off into prefer to stay on land. All-inclusive resorts be the next line. And then your same thing with your theme parks here. Make that, and I'm wondering if you did have that originally broken down because I noticed that there's no space between the period and the sentence. So it looks like maybe in a cut and paste, maybe it didn't get formatted with with the breaks that you intended. But just break that up a little bit. And something that just feedback on the bio itself, your picture of the over the water bungalows, I love it. However, you lead with your certified cruise you say cruise. I feel like I need to see a cruise ship there. I'm just saying, you don't have to do it. I'm just saying I feel like I need it there because you use cruise. That was the first thing I read, so it feels like that would be more in line with what you're going to be talking about, even though you do talk about other things within this bio here. So I'm just saying that I know you can add other pictures and things like that throughout your bio, but I just that is a little off for me. And then Erica said, and I concur totally. Use some bolds. That would be great. That just bolding some things that you think people would scan and read. So here's a little tip with italics and bold. Okay, this is again where you get to play as a copywriter, because you are now not only a travel marketeer, but you're a copywriter, right? You're crafting, you're massaging words that sell, right? So you can use bold in particular when you want to capture somebody who's just scanning what you wrote. Okay, so there are people who will not read every single word, but they're going to look at this page and they might scroll beyond, right? So already we're looking for these big headers that we see, right? Like those just kind of, even if I don't even see your certificates and awards, it looks like you've got certificates and awards because it's a section here, right? So my brain is absorbing all this. If you chose to bold certain things throughout, and you have to be careful because you don't want to do like just back-to-back words bolded, because then somebody just, it doesn't have the same effect. But if you bolded certain words that I'm trying to find something else here, you could even say that you're trying to capture romantic escapes and casino getaways, right? Just little things that somebody, if they only read from top to bottom within these couple of paragraphs, if they only read what was bolded, would that convey what you're wanting to tell? And sometimes you might want to bold something because you feel like, oh, I should bold that. That should stand out. But then when you go back, and this is the tip that I always use, after I've written the thing and I've bolded the things that I want, then I go back to the top of what I wrote and I just read the bolded words. And they're not going to make sense. They're not, it's not, this isn't like a Treasure Island where there's some coded story here. No, there's not. It's not even going to string together for the most part. But did you highlight words? Did you highlight words that were destinations, right? To me, that makes sense. Let's highlight the destinations, right? But maybe you chose to bold the word you, Y-O-U, because you were like, and I'll help you win, whatever. If I'm highlighting the destinations and then I throw in one you, I don't love that. But that's a great place to incorporate italics, right? I could bold all those destinations and then I can use the italics just to make that you a little special. Like just a little special. Like, oh, I want you to be a little special. You're more special than the other words, but not as special as these destinations that I'm trying to attract customers for. You get what I'm saying? So play. These are the tools that you can work with. And different platforms, online platforms that you're using will have different things that you can do with the copy that you're writing. That you can make some things headlines, you can make some things subheads, you can bold, you can italics, you can use bullets sometimes, which that is really good. And I do think in Agent Profiler you can do that too. Although I don't see a place for you to do that in this particular bio, but just know it for other things that you're writing. So find out what tools you have to use within the platform you're using. Don't use them all. You don't. Do you guys remember? Well, if you're around my age, uh, when people got there was when you started getting a computer, you could get Print Shop, and you could make these signs on a dot matrix printer. Whew, yeah, right. And everybody would get so jiggy with all these fonts. It looked like a hot mess. They would use like 15 fonts to say garage sale. It would be a hot mess. That's not what we're doing here. You're picking and choosing the elements that you want to use, the different styles that you want to use to ultimately what? get people to buy from you or pull the trigger to contact you, right? That's what you're trying to do. So I am gonna, Catherine, you are very welcome, and thank you for volunteering your profile. I am now going to do the same thing I did with Robbins, and I'm going to take that into Avia, uh, and we're going to see what it does to what you had prepared. Okay, and let's see if we like what it does. Okay, now I'm showing you Avia, but you can use loads of AI tools. I often use Perplexity is the one that I use. I know a lot of people use ChatGPT. So I'm not saying you have to use Avia. I am using it because we're about to launch it, and I'm really excited that it's incorporating loads of different elements that are very specific to our network. So some of the answers that you get back are very spot on. Some of them are a little maybe they could use a little work. So it's learning, it's growing, right? But I am excited about it. So I'm going to grab this and we're just going to pop it in to Avia and see what it does. Yeah, is everybody down with that? Are we liking Avia? Oh, I've made this so big that now I got to figure out how to. There we go. All right, here's another prompt here. Uh, Robert's asking a technical question. Are you allowed to say what Avia is built on? It's not that I'm not allowed to say. I honestly don't know because our product development team has worked with different platforms and things to put together this system. So I'm sure if you were tuning into our CEO, Jason Block, he could talk about all those different things more intelligently than I can. I'm more of a user of the technology and not necessarily a builder. So I'm sorry I don't have that answer for you. But he just, if you don't know our Jason, he loves technology and he loves to play, but he builds things that he can see we need, that we would benefit from. And I just saw him on Thursday and he said, I got to show you something that's going to blow your mind. And he showed me something, and guess what? My mind was blown. So more to come there. But uh, Robert, thank you. A TM right back at you. So, all right, I'm going to drop this in. So what do you do with the AI tools? You got to give it a prompt. So on Robbins, I said improve this travel advisor's bio or profile. So with Catherine's, I'm going to say improve this travel advisor bio to make it more compelling to contact the advisor. All right, we're going to drop that in. Let's see what we get. And now is the time where we wait. Oh, there she is. Avia, she's typing. They're typing. All right, so let's see. So you guys kind of remember what Catherine's bio looked like before. So obviously we do have the breaks in it, but let's see what we got. So imagine yourself on the deck of a luxurious cruise ship, the sun setting in a blaze of golden hues over the tranquil ocean. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality I can create for you. I love that it's in the first person. If you have not tried first person for your marketing copy, especially when you're talking about what you do, I'm sorry, you need to try it. It is a game changer. It is a game changer. So, as a certified travel advisor with Princess, Celebrity, and Carnival Cruise Lines, I specialize in crafting unforgettable getaways that combine exclusive amenities, world-class service, and personalized itineraries tailored to your desires. Whether you're drawn to the vibrant energy of the Caribbean, the old world charm of Europe, or the serenity of a relaxing all-inclusive resort, I'll help you design the perfect escape. Craving the thrill of a cruise? I'll match you with the ideal itinerary, ensuring every moment is seamless and extraordinary. Prefer to stay on land? I partner with top tier suppliers to deliver stress-free and all-inclusive experiences, perfect for families, couples, and adventurers alike. Europe's timeless beauty and cultural treasures await, and I'll create a fully customized itinerary that aligns with your unique interests, whether it's guided tours, culinary experiences, or hidden gems off the beaten path. From theme parks and family resorts to romantic escapes and casino getaways. Sorry, this is a lot to read here. That would be my first note. I plan every detail to ensure your travel experience is effortless and as it is unforgettable. Let's turn your travel dreams into reality. Contact me today to start planning your next adventure because life's best moments are waiting to be discovered. Woohoo! That sounds like a commercial. I love it. I love it as a story, but I was having a hard time. And as I said, I'm not the best reader, so if it was coming out choppy, I I feel like it has room to trim up a little bit. However, this is one of those instances where I could take this big copy, and Catherine, I'll drop it into our Facebook group so you can have it if you want it. Um, if I chop this up a little bit, did a little streamlining, I there's pieces that I would use in different places, and it did not break into one sentence paragraphs where it had the craving the thrill of a cruise, prefer to stay on land, because it was mimicking what Catherine had originally written. Uh, it did not break it up. Now, as I was reading it and I saw these were coming, that I got a little tripped up, but that was mainly because I had just been evaluating it. Here's a place where I might use italics. I might bold my cruise lines because if I am a cruiser, then I would recognize these names. And then I could use my italics to offset these little statements or these questions. So when I read them, no matter how I read, I would give them a little flair, and a little flair is pretty much always good. So yes, I will, Catherine. I will drop this in for you to use. And if you notice something, I don't. If you've worked with a designer before, they show you concepts and you're like, I like this, I don't like that, maybe drop this, and maybe that's called franken designing, where you're like you're taking bits from other pieces and kind of cobbling them together. You think about that with design all the time, like, I like this purple, I don't like that purple, I want it to be burgundy, da, 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 da. You're used to that. In writing, you're not really used to that. You're at least most people that I've worked with, they're used to redlining, or get rid of this sentence, put a comma here, this, you got to run on sentence. We're used to edits like that. We're not used to, you know what, I think this paragraph should move up here, or you know what, this paragraph isn't necessary in this. So then it becomes very artistic when you're evaluating your copy. And I do love that. I feel like I'm getting far too excited about writing than I am. I I think it's the idea of playing and having words to play with. And that's something I think is worth talking about when when you are when you need to write something. That blank page can be so scary, right? It can be just too much, too daunting. If you are a procrastinator, it can sit off to the side and you don't want to touch it. I mean, that is a whole thing. So don't get me wrong. I know that is a whole thing. But once you have copy that you can work with, like here we got from Catherine's rewrite, we got 5 paragraphs to work with. Um, I could probably turn that into 3 and maybe throw in a couple of one sentence paragraphs in there, just to break it up, because I want it to be visually appealing. I don't want it to scare me. I want it to get me to take that leap and contact Catherine. But having copy to work with allows me to do a little. I'm just gonna massage this a little bit. So, having copy is fantastic, and the same thing. I used copy that was already written, that Catherine and Robin had already written, and put that in Avia, or again any AI tool that you're using. Um, and it made some edits, right? And I liked some of its suggestions. I didn't like all of it. So, and we started with really good bios, right? But you could also just prompt your AI tool to say, write a compelling travel advisor bio where we focus on my 38 visits to Alaska and how experienced I am in Alaska cruising, right? And it'll put out it'll write some a bio for you, and that bio might be 95% the way you want it to be. It could be 50% the way you want it to be. But starting with that, that's powerful. That's really powerful. So I hope today's session was helpful. What I'd love to do when we do these Saturday sessions is to ask you, is there anything that we talked about today that you've made a note to work on this week? Like, what are you going to do this week based on what we talked about? And it could be visiting something and saying, let me check this out. It could be taking something you've already written, put it into an AI tool, or it could be, hey, I need to get clear on what I want to sell and what the action I want someone to take. So drop that in the comments. I'd love to know what you are compelled to do because of today's session. And actually, I'll tell you, if you're like me, you could get inspired about something completely different that has nothing to do with writing your compelling bio. So drop it in the chat. I will be back. So this week, I'm so excited. Tomorrow, I am going to get on Norwegian Cruise Line's brand new Aqua, and I am going to be sailing. It's my third Prima class ship. Every single one of their ships, the Prima class ships, I have been fortunate to be able to travel on, and every single one, I have had a major life event going on. And just as I said earlier, this one is going to be my 50th birthday. I'm 50 years old. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Follow me on social at Joshua Harrell. Follow me on social, and I will try to capture some of the shenanigans I get up to. Because most of the time I do get into shenanigans. I'm telling you, I'm probably the worst person to travel with because I do get into shenanigans. So I can't wait for that. I will be back in time for next week's Travel Marketeering Saturday session. Tell your friends, anybody can come. You can watch it now on Smart TV because we got it on the YouTube. So I'll be back at noon on Saturday for another Travel Marketeering session. I hope to see you there. Again, it will be available on demand. So you can go back and watch it if you don't get to join me live. But I do appreciate when you guys can join me live. I love the questions and the comments and the TMs in the chat. So before we say goodbye, I'm going to just pop over here and oh, well, I didn't see this until just now. Robin said, "Are you still live?" So this is Robin, who we went through her her bio. She said, "Oops, too late, I guess. I'll watch the replay. Sorry I missed you." No worries, Robin. Thank you so much for sharing your bio. I think everybody who joined the call today would say that we had some fun with it. So yes, you can go back. And just so you know, Robin, I did say that I would share. We put it in Avia, the new WorldVia AI tool. So I'll put what came out of it for you. But again, thank you for answering the call this morning for a bio to go through. And Robert said, TM, I've gotten to the point in using ChatGPT that I run everything through AI so that it sounds good as scenic vacations voice. I like that. I like that a lot. That's fantastic. I started using AI with writing, and now I'm using it for reporting and things like that. It's interesting. It's making me smarter, not just sound smarter. It is making me smarter. I am learning from it. Let's see. Catherine said, update and add to agent profiler. So yay! I'm glad to see that. Heather said, I need to update my bios now that I've shifted to a different focus, but I'm also going to be sharing this information with my team. There you go, girl. You go, girl. We used to have a sound effect like that. I should get sound effects back. What do you think? Maybe like DJ horn. Burr, 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 burr. No? Okay. Heather, I'm glad that you'll share it with your team. And yeah, keep me posted. Let's see. Uh, Joshua's testing for us, Catherine. I don't, because I'm late to it. Let's see. Robert said, TM, 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 awesome, awesome. Aqua looks wonderful. Yes, I'm so excited. And Heather giving me a happy birthday. Thank you. Robin, yes, I'm 50 years old. I guess after 50, do you really claim the year? I don't know. I might. I don't. I'm kind of excited. It took a long time for me to get here. Let's see. Oh, Robin shared with us that her bio that we went through was all done in AI. So, Robin, just so you know, since you weren't here for the beginning, we were like, yeah, it's a pretty good bio. Pretty good bio. So, AI, it was like dueling AIs because we just tweaked it a little bit, so you can check it out. And Erica gave us a TM with some stars. And Robert, thank you. We're in the 50 club, right? I missed it early. Happy birthday. I'm 53 and I still say it. So, okay, I will do it too. I'm in good company, right? All right, guys. Thank you again for joining. This is such a highlight of my week every time I get to do this, and I'm just so grateful that you are joining me. I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye.